views and opinions expressed on this program are those of the participants and do not reflect the views of Bronxnet or the program underwriters.
Bronxnet. Your voice, your views, your vision.
Hey, good morning and welcome to another episode of Open, the one and only show that opens up the Bronx and the world to you. I'm your host, Dr. Bob Lee from 107.5 WBLS, your number one source for R&B. We got a great show lined up for you today, but first up, our Monday morning highlights. It features the best from the Boogie Down Bronx and beyond. And leading off the show, she's Open Monday's nutritionist, and she's returned to dispel our myths about effective dieting. Watch out, and what you can do to shed those extra pounds. And after that, we'll meet the president and CEO of JMA Concrete Construction. He's here to detail his service to the community and the greater New York area. Then we'll turn up the heat with Fever Enterprises founder Sal Abatello. The man is in the house, and he's going to close off our show. We'll close it up with the smooth and soulful sounds of singer-songwriter O'Dane Wilby. So stay tuned. All this and more headed your way because we are now officially open. Good morning, everybody. I'm your host, Dr. Bob Lee, and you're watching Open. Today is Monday, October 3rd, 2011. Wow, where has the year gone? You know, before we go any further, let's check in with our resident DJ, Cool Clyde. Young man doing this thing this morning on the ones and twos.
Hey,
Cool
it's always
Clyde.
good to see you, man. We got a lot to talk about, man. So let's get into it. Let's chop it up. What's going on? How was your weekend, first of all?
The weekend is beautiful. You know, it was kind of slow this weekend, but I loved it because, you know, next weekend we're blasting through the whole weekend. It's Columbus Day weekend. We got the Circle of Sisters Expo at the Jacob Javits Convention Center. And if you look outside around that time and don't see anybody, they're all going to be at the Jacob Javits Convention Center.
You're all over the radio, Bob, man. I be hearing your commercials going on through the Steve Harvey Morning Show. I mean, you doing your thing, man. There's a lot of things that's going on in the news today. Oh, before we forget, Sylvia Robinson, who's the female pioneer of Sugar Hill Records, who discovered a lot of great artists, such as the Sugar Hill Gang, Grandmaster Flash, and she was the one. This label has brought hip-hop to its mainstream, this label.
I remember going up to a house in Inglewood Cliffs, me, Magic, Molly Mall, and it just took us a long time to get up to the house. And back then, you know, that was very impressive. And we sat in the living room and we were just talking about music and the hip-hop game and all that stuff.
Well, our condolences definitely goes out to her. She's definitely a female legend. She was 76 years old. I don't know the nature of her passing, but there's another person that we definitely don't want to forget about is Gil Noble. I don't believe he will be coming back to Like It Is. He's on Channel 7. Like It Is on Sundays.
But you never know, you know.
Right, which is
true. A miracle
true.
may take place and may come back. He had a massive stroke, as we all know.
And so, I mean, I do got an exclusive interview with him right before this happened. So I'll be definitely airing that and giving portions of that to his family members. Also, who else? Oh, I got to say also.
Al Sharpton's birthday.
That's
Happy
correct.
birthday to Al Sharpton.
Yes. Our very own Al Sharpton. I did tell him yesterday that I wish him happy birthday on the show, Bob. So he was looking forward to that. And then also, Fly Ty said to say what's up to you from Cold Chillin' Records. You know, produce people like Roxanne Shante, Big Daddy Kane, and so forth. So he said what's up to you. LA Sunshine was on the broadcast with us yesterday, and we talked about his new book that's coming out. He talked about how he was trying to commit suicide, man. So he talked about this is all in his book. I never knew that, man. So it's an interesting read. So we look forward to.
What's it about?
His life story, you know. So I thought that was interesting. Also, another thing that's going on in the news is like the young people are out protesting down at the banksters on Wall Street. That's what I call them.
700 of them got arrested the other day.
Well, listen.
Walking across the Brooklyn Bridge.
It's about time that people step up, pay attention, young people are mobilizing. You can't stop this. This is even going on in California now, man. So it's something that's really well overdue, and they're panicking. They don't know what to do because it don't seem like it's going to stop anytime. Although we know that the weather is going to be cold here, it's not going to be cold in California. So this thing is going to definitely contribute to constantly go on, and I think it's definitely going to make an impact. Gas prices are up high, tuitions are up high, there are no jobs out here. So, and they realize that Wall Street has sold a lot of people out. You know, it's about the hierarchies, the rich, the elite, and the middle class.
Burden falls on the middle class.
Yeah, the middle class. Well, what about people with class? They deserve it too. So I think I'm so happy that young people are taking a stand and they're doing something about this.
There you go, my man, Cool Clyde.
Thank you.
Throwing it down. All right, we turn now to the latest from this past weekend in the Bronx and beyond. We got some of the best stuff happening for you, and we get into our Monday morning highlights.
What's going on? Yeah, what's going on? Tell me what's going on. I'll tell you what's going on. Right on.
And first up, Bronxnet was out in full force at the Hostos Community College for the 7th annual Viva Bronx Festival. And, well, with the Bronx #1 station, we were there filming. Viva was is going to be on open, and Rhina Valentin was there, and she welcomed a variety of guests from the community, highlighting arts, culture, music, food, and more. Special guests included Bronx Flavor's own Baron Ambrosia and Bronxnet reporter Sylvia Anglin, who captured the action right there on the streets. Viva Open 2011 will be airing next Monday at 10 a.m. right here on Channel 67's Cablevision and on Channel 33 on Verizon Fios. And down the block from the Hostos Community College, yesterday, the Bronx Bombers took on the Detroit Tigers in Game 2 of the ALDS. Bobby C., he's going to bring it to you. It's a very special report. Check it out.
This is Bobby C. reporting from Yankee Stadium, where the Bronx Bombers have split the first 2 games of the American League Division Series and are now bound for Detroit, where the Yankees will try to advance to the American League Championship Series. Weekend showers tried to rain on the playoff parade. Friday night's ALDS opener was suspended in the 2nd inning, squashing the Game 1 duel of aces. Inclement weather has been the Yanks' middle name this season.
It's been a weird year, there's no doubt, but you can't do anything about Mother Nature, and as a player, you learn really quick to not worry about it, because unless there's a roof that you can press a button and have it close, you're not going to change the weather. Like I said, it's, you know, both teams are playing under the same circumstances, and we have to go out there and do our job no matter when we play and who's on the mound.
Don't be so sure, Tex. With the resumed game locked in a 1-1 tie, the Yankees capitalized on the absence of Justin Verlander in the rescheduled Game 1, taking the resumption 9-3. AL MVP candidate Robinson Cano had a night to remember. The All-Star second baseman blasted the Bronx Bombers' first postseason grand slam in nearly 12 years en route to tying a franchise playoff record with 6 RBIs. Cano backed rookie star Ivan Nova, who dazzled over 6 1/3 for the win.
Yeah, Robbie's been doing it all year. You know, Robbie's he's a tough out. You know, you know, he can beat you with a home run. He can beat you with he can pull balls. He hit balls up the other way. You know, he's tough to pitch to, and he showed that today.
Although the Yankee offense stole the show, all the buzz afterward centered around Nova's pitching performance.
It's been great all season long, you know, especially the fact that he's been sent down throughout the course of the season and then back up and then ends up getting the ball for the second game for us in this division series. You know, it speaks highly of what he's done for us all season long. And he's gone out there. He's wanted the ball. He's asked for the ball. He's done a great job to stay in the game. And again, he did an excellent job for us tonight.
Detroit's Max Scherzer flipped the script on Sunday. The 15-game winner didn't allow a hit until the 6th inning, setting the tone early. The Yanks nearly pulled an epic comeback in the 9th, but fell short in a 5-3 loss. Yankees starter Freddie Garcia pitched well, but a first-inning home run to star Miguel Cabrera was more than enough for Scherzer on this day.
Well, I think I was a good pitcher. I was looking at the video, and I think I was perfect pitching in that situation. But it's part of the game. Give a home run, but after that, I was settled down. This is my game.
Tigers closer Jose Valverde made it interesting in the 9th. bringing the tying run to the plate before Cano, the hero of Saturday's Game 1, grounded out to end it.
We always have faith, and we always, try to come back and try to do everything to get back in the game, and today we just fell a little short.
With the series shifting to Detroit, Monday night's Game 3 will pit CC Sabathia and Verlander, and the matchup of aces that was delayed by rain Friday night. Game 4 is set for Tuesday in Detroit, and a possible Game 5, if necessary, would be played back in the Bronx Thursday night.
Whichever team wins tomorrow, obviously is ahead in the series, in a short series, so we'll see what happens. I don't want to, think too far ahead. We're just going to try and play our best ball tomorrow, and hopefully we end up with a W.
Those are your Monday morning highlights, and our first guest this morning is our resident nutritionist, and now she's a registered dietitian. It's official! All righty. And she's here to dispel the myths associated with quick dieting. No good. And dieting doesn't mean you can't have any food. You just got to, everything in moderation.
That's right.
Eat. And now we welcome Fiorella DiCarlo. We welcome you to the show.
Thank
and
you
congratulations.
so much. Thank you so much.
How did you do that? Well, I mean, you were taking classes? You didn't tell me you were taking classes.
Yes, well, it's actually a 3 to 4 year, odyssey.
You've been doing that all that time?
Yeah. It's quite a vigorous program, but great. Finally finished.
Yeah. So how did you go through? What did you have to do?
Well, there's a lot of actual coursework that's involved. It's a post-bachelor program. So you would have to have your 4-year bachelor program first. You can combine it with a master's program also if you like,
good.
depending on what school you go to. It's about 10 science prerequisites in order to get into the program. And then once you get into the program, it's about 1.5 years. And then after that, a 9-month supervised dietetic internship in a clinical setting.
Biology,
chemistry, organic chemistry, physiology, the whole thing. Yes, exactly. Yes.
A lot of the stuff that people say, I don't know if I want to do that.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. They're like, nutrition, but I'm not going to do physiology or organic chemistry. So,
So congratulations.
Thank you
finally
so
completed
much.
It. It's a beautiful thing.
Thank you.
So what do you have for us?
So diet myths, yes. So a lot of people come to me with, who in my practice, who come to me asking about different types of diets.
Oh, now you're saying my practice.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Yeah,
yes,
we never used that before.
Yes, now it's a practice. So, so we're doing that, and they come to me asking about different diets, and they already come into it with, ideas about different things that they hear in the news, that they hear in the media. And so it's just, I think it's time to dispel some of the myths that people hold on to regarding dieting. And I would say the first one is that fat is bad for you.
These are the healthy ways to diet.
Yeah,
so fat is bad for you.
Right, is a myth. Which the truth is, as you know, what we're looking for is limiting saturated fat. But there are tons of other types of fat, good fats, omega-3 fatty acids, things like olive oils, fatty fish, salmon. All those things are really, really good for you. They actually lower inflammation in the body. So, you will want to try to choose wisely.
How important is lowering the inflammation in the body?
Well, inflammation in the body can be produced a number of ways. It can be through stress, just natural aging, metabolic process, in general. So it's kind of something that your body goes through anyway, and it doesn't have to only be in terms of having an illness. And so in order to do that, you need to have certain antioxidants and certain substances that will lower the inflammation in your body. Yeah. And the other thing too, when it comes to low-fat diets, if you notice, a lot of low-fat products will, in order to compensate for the fat that's been taken out of it, will have added sugars in it. So here you are eating a low-fat product, and then more sugar, more calories. So it's kind of counterproductive. So we probably want to go ahead and try to, take in good, healthy fats. And if you are taking in fats, that take them in moderation instead of going the low-fat route.
Now I'm going to put myself in a position as a watcher, a listener, a viewer.
Yes.
What do sugars do? I mean, the body has a rough time breaking them down at times, right?
Well, depending on what type of sugar, are we talking about sugar that comes from naturally from fruits, which is fructose, something like that, the body takes in because it is also part of fruits and vegetables, which also have other nutrients and fiber involved. So when you eat an apple, it is very different than when you eat the sugar in a refined product, like, for example, a piece of cake. It's very different. The other thing is that when you're going into a lot of refined products, it's a lot of added sugars that don't necessarily have to be there. You know, one of the other things that I also come across is a lot of people want to do fasting. You know, fasting and cleansing, that they think that somehow that's going to aid in their weight loss. There's absolutely no clinical scientific evidence that says that fasting, you know, has any beneficial value to you at all.
Well, some people say mental clarity and all of that stuff, and you know, they use it for spirituality, to get closer to God.
Right, and that's more of a kind of a mental, you know, spiritual state that, you know, certain people would try
the digestive tract to rest, you know.
Well, the thing is this, is that the digestive tract is pretty self-sufficient, you know, in that it also is very able to cleanse itself too. So a lot of, you know, colonics and diuretics and things that people choose to try to like lose weight right away, what you're really losing is water weight when you do that. And the truth is, if you want to give yourself a true cleanse, what you want to do is try to focus on certain days where you're eating a lot more fiber, and then your body will naturally cleanse itself. You know, instead of
cleansed.
you will definitely get cleansed, but it's
Especially
very
if
good for
you change
you.
your diet drastically from eating meats and all this stuff and breads to fruits and vegetables.
Yes.
Your body will say, hey, we did something
Hello,
different here.
yes, yes, it'll definitely happen, but it's very good for you, you know,
Yes,
so that's a kind of a natural way of doing it, you know. So the fasting thing really, in terms of dieting, it really doesn't have any sort of benefits to it. The other is low-carb diets. We hear this a lot. You know, we've heard this ever since, you know, the Atkins diet that came across like almost, you know, 12 years ago, low carb. And what I would like to just caution in terms of low carb is that when it comes to refined and processed foods with lots of added sugar, yes, certainly you should, you know, limit that. But there are other carbohydrates. Fruits and vegetables come under, some of them under the heading of carbohydrates. Any diet that tells you to eliminate those things are probably not looking at the long-term effects. The other thing, there are other whole grains, as you know, that are also carbohydrates that provide a lot of essential nutrients and minerals and vitamins. So to take that out of your diet would probably not be a really good idea, since you need a lot of variety. The point is, though, is try to keep it in moderation. A handful of grains is really all you need. You know, you don't have to go overboard.
You don't hear about people eating a lot of grains. Now, back in the biblical days or the old days, grains, that's what sustained a lot of us.
That's right.
But now we feed it to the cattle. We feed it to, you know, everything else.
Right, and we're so used to, our palates are so used to naturally refined and processed items that now when we, you know, certain people who try grains, you know, are like, oh, you know, there's something missing, when in fact it is the whole product, it is the natural product.
What is the processed foods, what is it doing to the body? I mean, it's not really, it's not meant for us to eat.
Well, certain processed foods like packaged food, not only do they have extra salt and sugar in it in order to keep it from, you know, going bad, you know, and increasing the shelf life, it also has other, you know, chemicals to preserve it that are going into it. They also are probably more fat than if you made it yourself at home, like for a certain product. For example, if you buy a can of soup, there's a lot of extra salt, a lot of extra sugar, and a lot of extra things in there that if you made it at home would probably not be in there.
So these preservatives can become toxic to the kidneys.
Well, you know, the kidneys have a really good way of filtering through, but you don't want to go to certain levels where your diet is so filled with this stuff that your kidneys are working overtime and then eventually become damaged. So that's one of the problems there. Another thing that, you know, people always say is eating at night. You know, stop eating after 6 o'clock. But the truth is about that, it's really about the total amount of calories that you take into a day. While I'm not a calorie counter, you know, for example, what I'm saying with that is if you decide to, all your meals and your snacks are kind of pushed back in the day, say you just start later in the day and you have breakfast at 11 or, you know, lunch at 3 and then dinner at 9. That is not going to make you gain weight.
What about for the people who work overnight? I mean, if I came from the Fever, DJing at the Fever, and like we used to do, we used to go straight to White Castle.
Right, exactly, the late night munchies, exactly. Well, you know, again, it's one of those things where you want to take into account everything you ate that day. The other thing, too, is that when you're doing overnights like that, you are expending more energy, too, so you're up for longer periods of time, so your body probably does need more energy, too. So that shouldn't be too bad, although I don't know if I would recommend.
Nutritionist and dietitian, Fiorella DiCarlo, thank you so much. Registered dietitian.
Official.
It's official. There you go. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Before we go, you have a new book, and you have to do this brief because they're talking in my ear.
Yes.
Where can we find out more about you, and tell us briefly about this?
Of course, it's 30 Days to a Thin New You, and it's just a compilation of articles and research about having a healthy lifestyle. You can find it on Amazon.com. And it's there for everyone.
All right, the official dietitian and nutritionist, Fever with the Color. Thank you so much.
Of course.
All right, we'll meet JMA Concrete Construction President and Community Advocate Joseph Agrete. That's all coming up next right here. Stay with us on Open. Very good. Yeah.
So you better get ready to rock, my friend. See, we got some news that you can use, and offer that you can't refuse. We're giving up, honey.
Every year, mothers lose their babies to gun crimes. You'll always be your mother's baby. So before you commit a gun crime, think about who you'll leave behind. Gun crimes hit home.
Hi, I'm Sean Johnson of the 2008 U.S. Gymnastics team. I'm here with our friends from VeggieTales to say, be a player, get up and play an hour a day.
Besides gymnastics, how do you stay in great shape, Sean?
I love to dance and rollerblade.
Cool.
You don't have to be an Olympian to be a player. Just do the things you already love to do, like jump rope, ride a bike, or even play freeze tag.
Now that's something to flip for.
Well done! For fun ways to get healthy, visit www.smallstep.gov.
Low-fat cheese sandwiches on whole wheat bread. Chewy and good for you. Snacks high in calcium help build strong bones. And foods rich in fiber are good for your heart. So you have the power to dominate. Can your food do that? Run, throw, think, eat better. Find out more at smallstep.gov.
I'm the O-W-B-O-Y-Y, the man so bad that you can't deny.
Well, welcome back, everybody. I'm your host, Dr. Bob Lee, DJ Kool Clyde on the ones and twos, as we do it just like this. You know, our next guest has been providing restoration and paving and curbing, not only to the Bronx, but throughout the tri-state area. And he's right here with us today. He's going to share all of his thoughts and his expertise. He's the president, JMA president and CEO, Joseph Agrete.
Yes. Good morning, sir.
I got you covered like a blanket. Right.
My pleasure. Thank you. Thank you.
Now, you started in the concrete business. How did you get involved?
Well, I started in the construction business in 1977. I was in Washington, D.C. when the new programs came out for the National Alliance of Businessmen, and also making opportunities for small women and minority and disadvantaged small business people. So I left my job at the Office of Equal Opportunity, where I was deputy to Sergeant Shriver, and was able to get funded and set up a business here in the city doing asphalt paving, concrete and highway roads, and in the construction industry in Northeast.
People can call you to pave their private house?
No, I do mostly state
Yeah.
and federal large projects. For an example, if here in New York in the Bronx, several years ago, I was involved with the paving of Boston Road from Westchester, Pelham down to Boston Road, 3.5 miles of paving. So I teamed with a larger prime contractor, and I did all of the asphalt and concrete paving and curbing.
Yeah.
And presently, we are involved in a very large project in Yonkers called Ridge Hill Development.
Yeah.
And we were able to bid and was awarded a contract by Yonkers Contracting to do all of the sidewalks and curbs there in Yonkers. It's been a 2-year project. But the most important thing is that I am fortunate and honored receiving an award with 3 other business people in New York City on October the 27th for Fantastic Fathers Award.
Oh, all right.
And we are a group that's dealing with Best Buddies. And Best Buddies is an offshoot of the Special Olympics. Where we can, we work in training and in hiring, I wanted to say young people, but it's people that have intellectual disabilities development. And we try to pair them up to have a better introduction into the world of work, and where we can provide services to give them an opportunity to find jobs within their own capabilities.
This is something that you started on the side as a foundation,
no,
or you just partner with organizations?
Best Buddies is a very large organization that's both international, and we are associated with the junior high schools, middle schools, high schools, and also colleges.
Yeah.
We work within certain organization and community developments.
Is there a project that you are currently working on, or a date coming up that we need to know about?
Well, I, along with 4 other successful business people in the Northeast region, is being honored under a program called Fantastic Fathers Award, and raising funds, money for the various programs of the Best Buddies.
Yeah.
And that's is a big program for, what is it, Thursday, October the 27th, being sponsored. Certain men and women are being honored by the Best Buddies Foundation in raising monies for them. And if you wish to get more information about this fundraising effect, it's a 5013C concern.
Right.
The number is 845-545-0305. And that's Best Buddies of the state of New York.
Where is this event going to take place?
This is being
honor you.
on October.
We get some cameras out there. You
know,
from
October the 27th at 6:30 p.m. at the Manhattan Penthouse on 5th Avenue, 80 5th Avenue, New York City.
All right, I'm going to write it down. Maybe we
You
get
got
some
it?
people over there. Yeah, 85th Avenue, NYC.
Yes.
October the 27th.
At 6:30.
Yeah.
And we're looking for other volunteers, and naturally it's a fundraising event for Best Buddies, helping many young people in the jobs market.
Yeah. Now, how important is that to you, being a businessman, knowing in your heart that there's a need out there to be able to give back to others who ordinarily couldn't do it 100% on their own?
It really started many years ago. I was deputy director for Sergeant Shriver in the Office of Economic Opportunity Program, in quotes called the Poverty Program.
Yeah.
And as you know, the Olympics, Special Olympics, was set up by Mrs. Shriver, and the whole family, the Kennedy family, was involved. And having a close workmanship with the Shrivers, and as I moved along, I felt I was mentored, and that was one of the important agencies that you would like to help.
And you're associated with a lot of people: Cuomo, Hillary Clinton, Charlie Rangel.
Whatever that gets you, the 2 cents gets you. Yes, I have been fortunate to work for them, and as you know, our present governor Cuomo, is really working towards developing opportunities for small and women and minority contractors, especially in my area of infrastructure. And also, mine carried a little further. Although I'm a union contractor, I am still trying to bring to the table the young people and men and women with the intellectual disabilities development, as sponsored by the Best Buddies.
Yeah.
So it's another arm of reaching out, doing community services, and working with the various communities that are looking and working in the mental health area and the disabilities area.
For a lot of people want to know, what is the process? People have something to pave and have some work to be done. You have to put out a bid, or how does that work?
Yeah, well, I'm considered a major subcontractor, and yes, the jobs that we have performed on are all bid. There are bid processes by the city, the state, and also within the federal government.
Yeah.
As you know, now is a big push by the present administration in Washington to develop jobs in the infrastructure area, because so many of our people are unemployed at this particular time. And hopefully through an organization like Best Buddies, some of the people with intellectual disabilities may not get the opportunities.
Yeah.
So I'm honored to be honored by this association and helping them to raise funds to make it more awareness within the Northeast region.
Well, let us be the first to congratulate you. You know, it's always a good thing when you help others get what they need out of life. Joseph M. Argret, President and CEO, JMA Concrete Construction. Fantastic Father's Award. Congratulations once again to you. That's going to be October 27th. That's at 8 Fifth Avenue in New York City at 6:30.
We appreciate your making the announcement. Thank you very much again, sir.
All right, stick
Thanks
around for a second. We got to take another break, but on the other side, Fever Music founder, my man Sal Abatello. He's going to join us. That's all coming up right here on Channel 67's Open. All righty.
How you doing? I just want regular, no sugar today.
You got it.
Thanks. Hello. Hi. Did you eat that whole thing today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, how you doing?
She's getting big, huh?
Big. Yeah, she is big. Let's go. Hey, haircut. Yeah, looks cute. Come on, let's go. Nice to see you. Thanks a lot.
If only child abuse were this easy to recognize. If you even suspect abuse, call 1-800-4-A-CHILD. All calls are anonymous and confidential. Trust your instincts.
My name's Brandon. 9 years old, being alcoholic.
Hi, Brandon.
I'll start drinking with the older kids. And whatever they do, I'll do.
Kids who drink before age 15 are 5 times more likely to have alcohol problems when they're adults. So start talking before they start drinking.
I know it'll start with alcohol. I'm just not sure how it's gonna end.
God, I used to work with you. Meet you? Yeah. Where's South Carolina.
Along with weight loss, it's one of the many ways to fight osteoarthritis pain. For more information on managing pain, go to fightarthritispain.org.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. I'm your host, Dr. Bob Lee from 107.5 WBLS, your number one source for R&B. I come on right after the Quiet Storm each and every night. You got to check me out. And then out with the Steve Harvey Breakfast Program, too. And right here on Channel 67's Open. All right, our next guest opened the first Bronx disco back in the 70s and has been developing a musical empire ever since. Here to share more is Fever Enterprises founder Sal Abatello, who welcome you to the show. My brother.
Baby.
Now, you got to let Cool Clyde know, because he thinks I just started in Queens somewhere. You got to let him know.
You got to know, Clyde was the first DJ at the Fever, 77, baby.
All right, Bob.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I also wrote the first rap for Frankie Crocker back in the day. He read it on the air as a poem.
What poem was the Fever in, Sal?
In the Boogie Down. The Bronxnet, baby.
See, and I was from the Bronx. That's all I was from the Bronx back then.
Talking about hip-hop started in Queens.
Sal, we welcome you.
Yo,
you know, you've been doing the Fever and Fever Records and working with a lot of people in the business for many years. You know, tell us about when you first started the Fever.
Well, my family's been in the business from the 60s in the Bronx. My father had a place on 169 3rd Avenue.
My grandfather had a grocery store on Washington Avenue, so you know we were from the South Bronx, and I grew up around Motown and Chubby Checker and you know Temptations, and you know so back in the day there was neighborhood bars, and in 1969 we went uptown and we opened up a lounge called Salt and Pepper, the original Salt and Pepper on 167 Jerome, and the lounge took off, and it was a really classy place. George Benson used to play there. We used to have jazz, and you know, disco was getting real popular, and Saturday Night Fever was out. And my father decided to open up a disco in the Bronx, and we named it Disco Fever, which my mom came up with the name. And that name really was synonymous with, you know, what it represented during the years. And I was still working uptown, you know, at the other place, and I would go there after work, and there was this dude named Sweet G.
Sweet G,
And he'd be DJing, like when the DJ got off, because he wanted to get out of there, G would be DJing like 5 in the morning, you know, because you know the Bronx, you stay open all night. And he started rhyming, and he's, you know, saying ho, and I'm watching the interaction between the DJ and the crowd. And I'm like, what the heck are they doing down here in the South Bronx? So me and him hooked up and started investigating it, and it was, you know, it was called rap back then, and or emceeing, and he mentioned this kid Grandmaster Flash. I went down to the park where Flash was playing, and he was outdoors. And when I saw Flash, I knew I fell onto something that was going to be unique and you know, music changing. And I convinced Flash to come up to the Fever. I said, I know you're going to become a star if you come up here. And it took me about a month to convince him to come up there, because he was just doing like these one night parties, you know, Savoy Manor, Audubon. Brought him up to the Fever, and from that Tuesday on, 600 people showed up the first night, and that was it. I did hip hop every night after that.
And from Clyde, I'm going to give you some more now. I was supposed to battle DJ Flash in Queensbridge, but he never showed up. I'm just saying.
That's because he was too busy at the Fever packing them in. Paul was by himself in Queens, while Flash was with 1,000 people at the Fever.
DJ Flash was a DJ on BLS too. So then you got with Russell Simmons, or he influenced you to start the record company?
Well, what happened was, you know, when I brought Flash in, I knew I had fell onto something, so I started reaching out into the street, and I started putting Love Bug Starsky on Monday, Hollywood on Wednesday, Eddie Chiba, Reggie Wells, and then I had Sweet G, who sang Games People Play, and DJ Junebug, who was like the real first, one of the top first Puerto Rican DJs back then for hip hop. And so now we were going 7 nights a week, and before you know it, you know, people started coming up. Russell Simmons was a kid. He was hanging out at the club, and people just started coming up to the club, and before you know it, you know, Sylvia Robinson, you know, she made the first big record. I mean, there was Enjoy Records, you know, Bobby Robinson. So Sylvia makes this record, Sugar Hill Gang, Rapper's Delight, and we were the first ones to play it. We had the test pressing, and it was the most requested record ever back then on KTU.
See? I worked for KTU back in the day, but I was doing this, see, there he goes again. The street cleanup campaign. We used to set up a big stage out there, and I was the host. I was one of the guys on the microphone. So we had a good time back then. Those were good old days.
Oh, it was a great time.
Tell us about building this company in the Bronx.
You know, so as we were building it up, I started opening up other ventures in the Bronx. We opened up Skate Fever. I wanted to deal with youth, so we started getting involved with the United Negro College Fund. We did numerous benefits. We raised over $100,000 back then, and we rebuilt a city park on 172nd Street in Global, across the street from Skate Fever. I started a youth association. So what I try to do is combine sports, education, and music, because back then the drinking age was 18. A lot of the kids weren't monitored. Parents were working 2 jobs, or parents were drug addicts. You know, it was a really hard time in the Bronx back then. So, you know, I started dealing with that, and then I started the Entertainers Basketball League in 1979 at the Rutgers, which is still going on today for 32 years.
You get a lot of stuff in the community that people really don't know about. So I'm glad we're here to talk about it today.
I'm still doing stuff. I have a charity foundation right now called the Erica Roman Foundation.
So who is Erica Roman?
Erica Roman was a foster kid out of my system. She worked for me as an 18-year-old telemarketer, and she was a foster child, and she didn't want to go with her foster parents anymore, so she moved in with me, and after 13 years I got her a radio gig in Orlando, Florida. She was the first Latina on Power 95.3 in Orlando, and within 3 years she became the '1 jock. On the day the station went #1, She went to celebrate. She got killed in a car accident.
That's right.
Yeah, so I started a foundation for foster children, and we just built a recording studio in her name at the Children's Aid Society in the Bronx.
Wow, I just made the connection.
Yeah.
I didn't
You
know that
remember
she
Erica?
came from you. Yeah.
She was my assistant.
Wow, I just made that connection.
Yep.
Shoot. But yeah, and that was a big thing, you know, when something happens in the industry, we all find out about it, and you say, wow. Man,
Yeah, that was terrible.
This chick, Erica Roman, wow. I just made the connection.
Yeah.
God bless her soul. #1 in Orlando, Florida.
#1, and her name's still going on. We just did a celebrity softball game at the Castle Hill Little League field. We do it every year. It was the 3rd year, and we raised a lot of money. And now my co-founder, Vivian Rivera, she just passed away of cancer.
Yeah.
So right now we do foster children and cancer, and we got the big walk coming up next week, too.
Yeah.
We're going to do at Vivian's honor.
How's Junebug? I haven't heard from Junebug. Or
DJ Junebug was the top DJ back then. Unfortunately, he got murdered in 1983.
Yeah.
And we just did a documentary on him last year. And a lot of people, I mean, we knew back then about Junebug. So I wanted to give him some history and some legacy for he has a son. And it came in first. We got chosen for the Tribeca Film Festival. We came in first place in the country in the shorts. So we got a DVD out.
We should play. Can we play that here one day?
Oh, I would love to. It's 26 minutes, man. It's very interesting.
Yeah,
I mean,
maybe we can get
came in first in the country.
Yeah, maybe we can
Sweet G's on it, Curtis Blow. Mr. Magic, unfortunately, was supposed to be the host for it, the voice, and he passed away the week before. So, you know, a lot of my history is passing away to all the people who could tell the story back then. You know,
Mr. Magic was on a comeback too. He was going to come back.
I was with Magic the day. Yes, we were talking. I was with Magic the day he got called by Frankie Crocker. We were hanging out all night, and Frankie Crocker, you know, back then there was no cell phones or anything. So he called in his mother to say what's up. She's like, some dude named Frankie Crocker called you. We was like, what? And he called him up, and Frankie gave him his first shot, and that was the first hip-hop show on major radio, BLS.
Because he was on BAI before that,
WHBI.
HBI,
And me and him started the Entertainers Basketball League. And I just got inducted into the Entertainers Basketball League Hall of Fame. I'm one of the first 7 inductees, I played in the first game.
Wow. Those are the good old days. I mean, you talk about Mr. Magic, Curtis Blow, and all those guys.
I was Curtis Blow's
always
best
just drive to
man
the
for his
schools, you know, in the WBLS Juice Mobile.
Yeah, we used to leave the Fever 6, 7 in the morning. We'd be up here, the bumper stickers out. All the kids go to school like, damn, I smell liquor on there. We hanging out all night. But we did a lot of great stuff in the community. We did so many free concerts. Me and Magic used to go around to all the prisons and perform for the kids, you know, and women prisons, Rikers and Bay Ridge and Brooklyn.
All right, so what's coming up? We got a number of things. We've got some flyers here.
Yeah, I'm still doing my thing. I own a club in Yonkers called Salute, right across the street from the casino. Nice. We do a R&B night on Friday.
I know that was you. I see that club all the time.
Yeah, on Central Avenue.
Stop in there.
And and on Saturdays like a Latin night. And we do a lot of nice things over there. We do comedy and disco nights. And I got a big show coming up at the Copa, which I do every year.
Wait a minute. The Copacabana.
It's just reopened.
Just reopened,
yeah. It was closed for 3 years. I did the last party there, and now I got Thanksgiving Eve coming up. I'm doing a freestyle show, which has been legendary. I've been doing it for 20 years. It's my 25-year anniversary this year for freestyle.
There you go.
Hip-hop, 35 years.
Yeah. I got to do one with you. I want to do it here.
They're fantastic, yeah.
I just celebrated 30 years last year.
Nice.
I want to do one
I do one every year at Lehman College, March, I think 3rd or 6th. I don't remember the day. We do it every year. We sell it out every year. 2,500 people sold out.
Wow.
All the freestyle acts.
And then this one?
We have a boat ride coming up. We do it every year also, you know, traditionally. It's a costume party. It's a midnight cruise, and it's from 12 to 4 in the morning, and it's on the Queen of Hearts. You can go on feverrecords.com, and all the information is on there about all the events we have.
And this one here, we got a flyer. That's on there, of course.
Oh, I just started marketing a new place in New Rochelle. A friend of mine just opened up the best Puerto Rican cuisine. It's called 787, and it's Siete Ocho Siete is the name of the club in Latin. But the food's off the hook, and then it becomes a lounge at night. And my boy Lucas is running.
I'm always looking for a nice place to eat.
Nice place to take a lady.
The
food's off the hook.
Good. So we can reach you on
feverrecords.com.
Feverrecords.com.
Yep, and Facebook, Fever Records.
Is there a number? No, you just go to the
Yeah,
website.
914-725-0011. Also, we book entertainment. We book all the old school acts. I got Slick Rick and Dougie Fresh working, and
There you
Sugar
go.
Hill Gang. I just had them at a club in Queens.
Yeah.
Everybody's still working. They're doing good, you know. Try to
Is there anything that we missed? Because they're giving me a hard rap here.
Ready to go?
One.
I just wanted to say my condolences to Sylvia Robinson.
Yes.
I was the first person to play Rapper's Delight, and I used to hang out with her too and go up to New Jersey. And my condolences out to Joey and the family, and she's a true pioneer, the godmother of hip-hop, man.
There you go. Sal Patello.
Bob, always a
All
good
right.
time. Always
Nice.
a good time.
All right. FeverRecords.com, right?
Yeah.
FeverRecords.com. For more information, Fever Music, you can go to FeverRecords.com. 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 Did I say it too many times? You got it. Go there and check it out. A lot of good information for you. All right. From our record producer to recording artist, we'll jump to the Music Monday stage right after this with the soulful sounds of O'Dane Wilby. Don't miss it. You want to stay right here. We'll be back in a flash.
Be free. Nice, Dad. Nice, Dad. Nice, Dad.
Charles!
Nice, Dad.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of siblings in foster care who'll take you just as you are.
This is so cool, Dad. Awesome. This is so cool, Dad.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of siblings in foster care who'll take you just as you are.
For you. Hey, Mom.
You know, girls, I used to cheer back in my day. Ready? Okay!
That was amazing, amazing, amazing. Mom, that was amazing.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of siblings in foster care who'll take you just as you are.
I remember how much you said you liked wine.
Oh.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of siblings in foster care who'll take you just as you are.
And welcome back to Open, everybody. I'm your host, Dr. Bob Lee, and the beat goes on and on and on until the break of dawn. Now it's time for Music Mondays. Let's check it out. Check. And our next guest has drawn upon gospel roots, blending it with rock, soul, jazz, and funk. Now here to perform, please put your hands together for O'Dane Wilby in the house. Here you go. Thank you.
It was the perfect day, not an ounce of gray, not a cloud in the sky on the 4th of May, when Joshua Crown from the other town came riding through the streets, saying, hear my voice, All you girls and boys, I'm gonna lay you down. Then you make the choice. Then Joshua Crowd sang the song for you and me. Things are gonna change. There's gonna be some pain. It's gonna rain and pour like a hurricane. But don't you cry. This is cause for Jubilee. Yeah, it's gonna rain like a hurricane. To those rain clouds, you won't look the same. So don't you worry, you can get wet for free. You can get wet for free, yeah. Said that crazy Joe, what could he really know? He can take your song back up the narrow road. Yes, they laughed and mocked, they scorned, and they sent him away. He walked to and fro, up and down the street, where there was no love, only apathy. Oh, but he cracked a smile as the trees begin to wave. Oh, hey, cause things are gonna change. There's gonna be some pain. It's gonna rain and pour like a hurricane. But don't you cry, this is cause for Jubilee. Yes, it's gonna rain like a hurricane. To those rain clouds, you won't look the same. So don't you worry, you can get wet for free. You can get wet for free, yeah. Said it started to rain like never before. It picked up to a flood that kicked down every door. Said it started to rain like never before. It picked up to a flood that kicked down every door. If it wasn't bolted down, it got swept away. Said if it wasn't bolted down, it got swept away. Cause things are gonna change. It's gonna be some pain. It's gonna rain and pour like a hurricane. But don't you cry, this is cause for Jubilee. Yes, it's gonna rain like a hurricane.
Hey, there you go. Mr. Willoughby in the house, O'Dane Willoughby.
Thank you.
There you go. Very good. So you have the gospel background. When did you start? When you were about 4, 5, 6?
About 6.
6.
4.
I knew it was up in there somewhere.
Something like that, yeah. I've been in church all my life, so screw it that way.
New York.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Westchester.
Westchester. Okay. What church?
Born Again United. I started in Mount Vernon. And now I'm in New Rochelle.
Yeah. Are you still there?
I am still
same
there.
church?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My father's the pastor over there, Pastor Ty Willoughby.
All right. Yeah. Give the congregation a shout out.
Born Again United.
There you go. Now, did you want to follow in your father's footsteps and become a preacher maybe? I don't know.
No. Being a pastor is a hard job. And, you got to deal with a lot. You got to deal with your problems and everybody else's problems.
Of course, yeah.
But, I really respect my grandfather's a pastor, my father's a pastor, whatever God wants.
You have your own personal ministry, though, going on right now. You got a music ministry, so to speak, right? But you mixed it, you came out of gospel into R&B, into folk. What would you call this? Right?
My style, like you said, it's a mixture of gospel, rock, alternative rock, funk, jazz, all those things.
Yeah. Are you playing out at places?
Yeah, I am. I'm actually playing on Friday. I'm going to be playing at the Cinemark Space 43 on 43 Murray Street in the city.
Right. You have a CD out, or are you working on one?
I'm working on right now. I'm working on my EP right now, and if you want to hear the music, you can listen to it on www.reverbnation.com /O'Dane Wilby. It's ODANEWHILBY.
There you go. That's beautiful. So, how about a tour? You got a tour thing set up, or you're just mainly working on that CD, and then after you get that out, you'll start moving around?
Yeah, I was down in Atlanta for a little while, and Tennessee, but I'm mainly doing the New York circuit right now, and just just playing at home.
All right, there you go. Give him another big round of applause, everybody. Yeah. All right. You gonna take us out with another one?
Sure.
O'Dane will be. All right. But that's all the time we have for today's show. Many thanks to all of our guests for stopping by. And, of course, we love you. We love you the way you tune in and check it all out. All right? And we thank our viewers for tuning in each and every day, each and every Monday. And we'll stay tuned for another Open on Wednesday with Daren Jaime. And he'll hook you up with the politics and all that good stuff, all right? Always remember this: what you are is God's gift to you, and what you make of yourself is your gift to God. To choose your choice and let your choice control the chooser. I'm the Dr. Bob Lee. Catch you another day, another way. Catch you on BLS right after the Quiet Storm tonight, too. Give him another big round of applause, everybody. O'Dane will be singer-songwriter in the house on Open.
Thank you. Thank you. This is for all my people on Wall Street. I went out to see you guys last night, and really inspired me. So this is for y'all.
Is the only solution. Change is the name of the game. Pride comes before the fall. Lord help us all. Rise above all our delusion. Right to see the truth. We gotta fight. Ooh, if we're gonna make it right. Patch it up before the day bleeds into the night. It's no longer in the distance. The future's in the clear. We got to do something. We can't stay right here. We got to do something. The future's in the clear, the future's here. We got to do something. Let's love with no fear. We got to do something. Future's right here now.